What is up, my viewers and subscribers? I am Mike Wayne, aka Robo180, and this is my second attempt at a Royal Rumble. This is my second attempt at a retro review of the Royal Rumble 1988. So the first match is Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat, and Rick Rude thinks he has won with a Canadian backbreaker. They're in Canada, so go figure. It turns out though Ricky Steamboat actually won because the referee disqualified Rick Rude for pushing him in front of Ricky Steamboat when he was flying off the top rope. This was an okay match. Not much to say about it. I'm going to forgive some of the things that went on in this event because it was one of their first attempts at this pay-per-view. So, you know, you're not going to get everything right the first time. And so we have Dino Bravo up next with his manager, Frenchie Martin. And what they're doing is a bench record type thing. He's going to try to break the bench record. And his spotter is Jesse Ventura. And the announcer covering all this is Mean Gene Okerlund. And the crowd is just booing the shit out of this. And Dino Bravo, he says he needs concentration. He keeps asking them to be quiet and all this. And so I think he starts out like 465 or maybe 485 or something like that. And he does like 4 reps, jumps up to about 505, does like 3 or 4 reps of that. 555 does about 3 or 4. 595 he does about 2 or 3. 655 he does about 2. I think either 1 or 2, something like that. And 715. Yeah, 715 he does about that much. And then, you know, he's about to leave before doing the 715 because the crowd's booing this, and you know, because they just want to see wrestling. They don't want to see this. You know, if they wanted to see this, I'm pretty sure they'd be in a gym right now or something. But yeah, he attempts it, and it seems as though Jesse Ventura might have helped him a little bit, and even Vince McMahon says that it looks like he helped him. And later on in the show, Jesse Ventura says that the bar weighed about 712, and that doesn't make sense. Because the heaviest bar I've ever lifted was like 45, and I didn't think they go up to 712. I don't think the bar's that heavy. Next up we have the Glamour Girls versus the Jumping Bomb Angels. The Glamour Girls, of course, are the ladies tag team champions, but they should have been called the Golden Girls because one of them looked like Betty White and the other one looked like Bea Arthur in a wig. You know, the really good match. One of the Jumping Bomb Angels starts it off with a few drop kicks, and she does like a pile driver into a suplex sort of maneuver, you know, things like that. And of course, the Glamour Girls, they win the first fall. One of them takes one of the Jumping Bomb Angels and puts her in like a alley-oop type thing. And, you know, you're going to need to forgive me for not knowing the names of all these people because some of these people are just nobodies to me. I've never heard of them. I've never even seen them up until now. Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat, I knew about because they're high-profile legends. Glamour Girls and Jumping Bomb Angels, knew nothing about. But this was decent match, and the Jumping Bomb Angels win by a botched roll-up. And then they win the second one with a double drop kick. Hogan and Andre are now signing a contract for Friday after the pay-per-view or something, I don't know. And they talk about through the whole pay-per-view how Hogan winning at WrestleMania 3 was a fluke because they thought the ref counted 3 when Andre landed on top of Hogan. And for those of you who don't own the Hogan Ultimate Anthology DVD, you might not know that the first time these two ever faced off wasn't WrestleMania 3. It was one of Hogan's earlier matches when he was still getting into his groove a little bit, coming into his own. It was one of his earlier matches, and Andre actually did land on top of him and pin him 1, 2, 3 that time. But there was a question of whether it actually happened at WrestleMania 3. And there's always speculation about how Hogan won. How Hogan won. He always talks about lifting the giant over his head. No, he didn't. He scooped him and slammed him. That's as far as it went. He did not lift the giant over his head. The Royal Rumble being the third match this time, and it's actually 20 men, which is weird to me because I'm used to 30 men, but in the beginning it was only 20. Now it starts off with Bret Hart and Tito Santana, who, for some reason, Jesse Ventura keeps calling Chico Santana, and Vince McMahon seems to be okay with it. I don't know if that's his real name or if Jesse Ventura was just making a joke. I don't know. But, yeah, it starts off with Bret Hart kicking Tito Santana in the corner and all this. And the third man is a guy named Butch Reed. Don't know who he is. Fourth is Jim Neidhart. Fifth, Jake Roberts. Sixth, a guy they kept referring to as the King until he got eliminated, and then it was revealed that he was Harley Race. I did not know that because I was not familiar with what Harley Race looked like. Seventh match is seventh man is Jesse Jim. Don't know him. Sam Houston. Don't know him. Danny Davis. Zukov. Oh, and Nikolai Volkov was apparently in this. I didn't recognize him coming in for some reason. A guy they said was The Rock, but then later said he was Morocco. Jim Duggan came in at number 12 or 13 or whatever, I don't know. Ron Bass, Brian Blair, Hillbilly too. A lot of these people I didn't recognize. A lot of these people I didn't know. I didn't know any of these people at all. But Jim Duggan won the whole thing from the time he entered at number 12 or 13. I don't recall which one. But he won by eliminating the one-man gang. When the one-man gang tries to run at Jim Duggan grabs the rope, bends it down, and then one-man gang just goes flying over the top. And the last match is the Islanders versus the Young Stallions. I knew a little bit about the Islanders, didn't really know anything about the Young Stallions. But it was a pretty good, fast-paced match. A lot of spots here and there. It was also a 2 out of 3 falls, which is weird. And also, the Glamour Girls versus Jumping Bombs. This match reminds me of how ridiculous the Divas division is now. They don't have a Divas Tag Championship. Hell, they barely have a Divas Championship, to tell you the truth. The Divas are barely even relevant unless they're being... The Divas are barely even relevant unless they're being showcased on Total Divas, you know? Unless the Total Divas are there, the Divas division is barely relevant. But the Islanders win the whole thing, and that's all I gotta say about that. And I'm gonna test this video out, and if it works, I'm going to re-upload this version and delete the other one. So, I am Mike Wayne, aka Rob180. Please rate and comment, and so long for now.